Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this meeting of your Los Angeles City Council. Today is Wednesday, September 4th, 2024. I'm Paul Krikorian, President of the Council. I do also want to take a point of privilege to recognize the presence of our former colleague, Councilmember Joe Buscaino, who's here with us in the Council chambers. Councilmember Buscaino, welcome back to our chambers.
This, of course, is in addition to offering education courses, resources, and efforts to foster a strong sense of community.
And this year actually marks our 35th anniversary.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
Good morning, honorable team. Speaking on point 1724 and general comment, please. My name is Julian Alexander Macara. Good morning. On 7/15, I submitted my first public comment to the clerk's office. I did not receive a response. Sir, please. 8/12 sent the CPA and Workforce Incubator proposal to each of you and the mayor's clerk's office. No response from this elected committee. Sir, you're an elected official speaking during public comment with Ms. Hernandez.
Speak to the agenda.
My professional and extracurricular career has only ever been as a public servant. Same division of work as each and every one of you. I have responded to 911 calls in the high school, nominated for the Medal of Valor by Station 12, Firefighter Navarro.
Sir, this doesn't seem to relate to any of our agenda items.
It would be relative if you saw the emails that I've sent, sir. Working at the CPA office at the Northeast Police Station during the unfortunate and ill-timed death of my mentor, Officer Aragon. Aspiring to serve our community, my college experience was at Valley Forge Military. Look up their plebe system. My knees pose a physical limitation to me contracting to the Marine Corps. Served in the front line since day one of the COVID epidemic. I fulfilled every requisite that your offices and city agencies have demanded of me. Never in my professional or extracurricular career have I been able to form the responses to my clientele as you have me.
I'm sorry, but this is not related to our agenda, so I'm going to put you to general public comment.
Then put me to comment, sir. General.
Yes.
Firefighters who do not answer a call, people die. Social workers who do not answer a call, people are abused. I have experienced as a community agent the horrors a person or a family can face. Rape, murder, abuse, having to provide them comfort, qualitative over quantitative team. I have stood before you here and petitioned for your support. Each one of you have neglected my communal cause. Each one of you, staff members, now know who I am. Each one of you has hid behind them, and I'm speaking to you, Mr. President. I ask you, has anything been asked of me to build myself as a person? Rather, have I not asked for the privilege of responsibility? I know not my purpose as a constituent, nor your purpose as an elected official if we cannot have this discourse. Neighborhood councils to the mayor of our great city now know my name. It's your decision on how it's recited when in its interaction with yours. For I've done all that I can within the platforms you accept.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Felicitas Ortega. Vengo a hablar aquí sobre comentario público. Ocupo traducción.
Hi, my name is Felicitas, and I am here to give a comment. If I could have translation, please.
Por favor.
Aquí estoy en esta mañana para pedirles para que pongan esta urgía para el artículo 190229 S2 en su agenda para la próxima reunión.
Espere, por favor.
Momentito.
I'm here this morning to ask if you could put file 19-0229S2 in the next agenda. ¿Ya puede seguir?
Por mucho tiempo en mi trabajo nos están haciendo cargar cajas muy pesadas del congelador hacia la cocina.
For a long time, I've had to carry very heavy boxes from the freezer to the kitchen at my job.
Nunca nos han dado un entrenamiento para poder cargar esas cajas sin lastimarnos la espalda.
And we've never been given any type of training on how to be able to lift these boxes without hurting our bags.
Ahora que sé un poquito más de mis derechos, sé que debo de recibir un entrenamiento, pero aún hay compañeros que todavía no saben sus derechos.
And at this point, I know a little bit more about my rights and that I must get some sort of training on how to be able to carry these boxes. But I have colleagues that don't know this.
Hace unos días una compañera sacando las bolsas de basura para tirarlas, se le enterró una jeringa y saben que eso es muy peligroso para su salud. Así que por eso les pido que pongan en su agenda la moción para los trabajadores
your
de
time has
comida rápida.
expired.
Muchas gracias.
And a few days ago, we were taking out some trash, and in the trash bags, there was a syringe that fell out, and we all know how dangerous that could be to come in contact with those items. So I'm asking you to please put this item on your agenda. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
Good morning. My name is Elias Vasquez. I'm here to give general comment.
Vengo a comentar, vengo por aquí para que todos acá las autoridades que pongan en el artículo de del 0229 S2 para que nosotros los que trabajamos en la comida rápida
So I'm here to give a comment about putting in Article 0229S2 on the agenda so that we're able to comment as workers from fast food.
Estoy aquí para que como yo trabajo en Subway, nosotros tenemos muchos años trabajando, también desconocemos nuestros derechos en los trabajos. En las pandemias que nosotros trabajamos, los compañeros trabajaron 8 horas y les pagaron 4 horas nada más.
So I'm here to give my comment because I've been working at Subway for many years now, and many of us are unaware of the rights that we have. And for example, during the pandemic, we were supposed to work 8 hours, but only got paid for 4.
Es por eso que estoy aquí, para que ya que conocí acá pues los derechos, ahorita ya sé más o menos los derechos, por eso de que vengo para que las autoridades hagan algo para que las demás personas que conozcan sus derechos acá para los trabajos.
And that's why I'm here. I do know now a little bit more about my rights, but I'm here to essentially ask the authorities here to be able to inform people a little bit more of the rights that they have.
Muchas gracias por.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker, please.
General public comment.
Go right ahead.
And discrimination against 3-inch shrimp. And violence. I want to remind people that in the 80s, our government supported Cristiani and the others in El Salvador. And I am the victim of one of their army people. He lives near me. His name is Rivera, and I'm afraid of him. And he actually killed the left while he was in El Salvador, and he's 17 years in the El Salvadoran army, and I have to live near him. My life is in danger. I need help with the CSUN. That's where I graduated in '93. I need help with them saying they can't do anything to find all these people, the 20 people. I had a lot of people there that I need to know if they're dead.
Jay Richardson, general public comments. This is in regard to the 10 Commandments of the Bible. The police department, the police, the court system, the courts, churches, businesses, and families use the 10 Commandments to reduce crime. Our Maker wants people of all races to live in peace and without crime. The 10 Commandments is one of the best aids to reduce the crime. That's all.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Hello, my name is Timothy Watkins. I'm the president and CEO of the Watts Labor Community Action Committee. And I'm also the founder of the Better Watts Initiative, an organization dedicated to revealing the environmental injustices in Watts. More than a year ago, we were fortunate enough to finally have a council representative that wanted to join us in our quest to reveal the sources and the dangers of all of the heavy metal contamination that exists in Watts. I'm grateful to Tim McCosker for jumping on this with such dynamism, and the mayor as well has been working hard to get this under some kind of solution. But as a 71-year-old member of Watts, born and raised there, I got to tell you, we've been contaminated for decades and decades, and getting to it now, we're welcoming that, we're grateful for it, but we also lost a lot of ground, a lot of time that we could have been developing our community. Thank you for hearing me.
Great. Thank you, sir.
Hi, my name is Megan Wong. I'm speaking on item 29. I have a degree in environmental studies, and I am a member of the Better Watts Initiative, which is an environmental justice organization based in Watts. And I've also been working at the Watts Labor Community Action Committee for about 4 years now. So I spend Monday through Friday in Watts, and about 4 years ago, I was invited to research the effects that lead have on the body. Lead is an intergenerational issue. It is a neurotoxin that affects behavioral issues, IQ scores, and overall general development of youth. I'm so grateful that we are finally seeing some momentum behind the environmental movement that's happening in Watts, and I just ask that we can please continue this momentum, because I'm tired of this threshold being an acceptable thing. Like, yeah.
Thank you.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
All items, please, and general public comment.
You have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items.
Okay. Items 21, 23, and 30 all have to do with renaming streets. Almost 90K will be donated today so the Women's March Foundation can throw a big party. Don't you think there's better things to do with the resources given to you? We've declared emergencies because residents can't afford housing. These are your priorities, symbolic ceremonies. All this money you're wasting should be creating housing. Fuck these names, fuck these names. This is a distraction. We need real action, not these silly games. Fuck these names, fuck these names. These deals seem kinda shady. Who are you helping lately? You should be ashamed. Fuck these names, fuck these names. Changing signs costs money. It's not even funny. Don't you think it's strange? Fuck these names, fuck these names. This is so misguided. This body is united against meaningful change. Why are we wasting so much time changing names around on corridors and streets when there's literally 6 people dying every night because they're unhoused? This makes no goddamn sense. Cost resources, cost your time, cost our time. It's a waste of time. Let me talk about REAP, our REAP, Rent Escrow Account Program, since that's also on the agenda. I always make the analogy, if you come to me while I'm the cashier at a burger restaurant and you order fries, a burger, and a milkshake, and you pay me for fries, burger, and a milkshake, and then when your order's up, I bring you French fries and a water, do you think I should keep all the money you gave me for those other items just so long as I pinky promise that I'll get those to you whenever I can, later in my shift or in a week or in a month? That sounds ridiculous, does it? What? Yeah, because that's how we treat landlords. So when they don't fulfill their obligations, they get to keep their money. They're never at a loss. just so long as they get around to it eventually. And some people, like Damon on Smoke and Scan, would say, but yeah, you still got to live in that unit, so you should still pay the full thing. Well, to that I would retort, in my analogy, you still got to sit in my restaurant and eat some fries and drink some water. So you think it's fair that you should also have to have paid for that milkshake and that burger, just so long as I pinky promise I'll get it to you eventually? That's not how the world works for us regular working folk. But if you own things, if you're a landlord or an Asian American hotel owner, you get lots of help from city council and you get a lot of leeway when you don't fulfill your obligations. And I would just love if, as a tenant and a minimum wage food service worker, I was offered the same kind of grace and consideration and help from this body. I'm gonna go to general public comment now.
Okay, you have 1 minute.
Council, we are facing a problem. Every 30 hours there's someone killed in a collision. Even more are injured. Newsom may soon sign legislation to create a loud iteration from the horn of a car to alert the driver to slow down. But that won't prevent traffic deaths. Buses, more frequent bus routes, bike lanes for cyclists to go down, pedestrian pathways designed for walking. Get people out of their cars, now we're talking. Making cars make noise won't save our kids. That won't save our kids. Shout out Smoke and Scan and my husband Christopher.
I'm also going to now call Spindler and Monique.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Hello. My name's Estella from Gadfly Herald. I'd like to speak on all available items and general public comment, please.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items.
This morning, when I went to the council chambers, there's usually the agenda listed. I wanted to note that the agenda was not listed today. I also want to note that quorum was broken by Tim McOsker walking outside.
So you're welcome to speak to this during general, but I'm going to ask that you stick to the items.
Please don't interrupt me. I'm speaking to the nature of the agenda today. Thank you. All available items. I would like to reclaim my time. Now, quorum for this agenda today was broken. Therefore, the agenda was turned off, right? The meeting's supposed to be over.
Okay, so this is your last warning. Please, you can speak to this during general, but for the first 3 minutes, please speak to the items that are open for public comment.
So I'm speaking on all available items, on the nature of the items. I'd like to reclaim my time, please.
So this is your last opportunity. Please stick to the items, or I'm going to move you to general.
I'm speaking on all available items on the nature of the agenda. Thank you. So I'll go to my general public comment, please.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Thank you. We, the people, demand redress to the grievances caused by the unconstitutional vaccine ordinances, the ordinances that turned me away from LA City Hall when I came in person to speak in public comment. I was turned away saying I had to show proof of vaccination or an official COVID-19 test. Do you know how much that test was charged? About $200. Who should I bill that to? We, the people, demand redress to these unconstitutional vaccine ordinances. A sunset is not enough. We need you to stand up and say this will never happen again to workers and workers' rights. God bless you. Thank you for my time, and please don't break quorum again. Thank you.
Next speaker.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
Yes, I am Daniel Gus.substack.com. All items and general public comment, please.
So you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items.
Yes. Item number 20, Imelda Padilla, excellent idea, excellent idea. If you have this hazard of rotting, decrepit motorhomes, you spend the money to make sure that they are dismantled. Excellent idea, Imelda Padilla. In fact, in my neighborhood, in Sherman Oaks, behind Gelson's, a motorhome exploded last year, near $1 million homes. It's not just in the poor major thoroughfares. It's in very affluent communities right off the boulevard. It's an excellent idea. If you have a hazard, spend the money so that you don't have multi-million-dollar homes being blown up, people being killed because you allow them. Excellent idea, Imelda Padilla. Everybody should be doing that. Item number 24, Mr. Krikorian, excellent idea. Keep the pools open during the hot weather. I would propose special hours, however, in your district for 2 special groups. As you know, last year, I exposed that migrants illegally in the United States from Venezuela, China, and Cuba on danielgus.substack.com were being housed in recreation centers in North Hollywood and in all of your districts. So I would propose that there are special hours for those people who you're putting in and telling city employees that to tell others that they're homeless when in fact they're illegal migrants. They deserve special cooling hours at this center. I love the idea, Mr. Krikorian, but please give them special hours since the city's not being honest of who's there. Also on Lancashire, I think the animals who are being fried by a homeless woman in crates and cages should be allowed to go in the pool area because Animal Services, which doesn't have a general manager.
So you've exhausted your time on item 24?
Yeah, okay. Item number 29, Mr. McCosker, I don't know if you're aware of it, I think you should expand the types of contamination you're looking for, Mr. McCosker, because Animal Services recently had an outbreak of parvo in various locations in the city, and they didn't tell any of you. They didn't tell the county. So you should expand your search for the contamination, not just for what item number 29 is, but you should expand it for a major outbreak of parvo. And I guess the question is, why didn't you tell your constituents about this contamination, which, by the way, is highly, highly contagious and deadly and can be tracked on your sneakers into your car, into your home, and kill your dogs. Now, general public comment.
So you have 1 minute?
Mr. Krikorian, I thank you once again for admitting yesterday that Rec and Parks is not only underfunded, but that their maintenance was done, quote unquote, with duct tape and baling wire, which, as you know, caused a multi-hour surgery in which I lost a joint in my foot, which Ms. Hernandez saw being screwed into my foot with a drill several months ago, along with a surgical saw. So thank you for taking negligence at Rec and Parks and admitting once again gross negligence. My retirement fund will thank you on that. By the way, you know, you're going to spend $25 million at minimum on 3 dog bites. Imagine how much free spay-neuter and basic veterinary services you can provide. You will be able to cut the budget someday at Animal Services, but your new commissioner thinks more services, more shelters are needed? I guess he never heard of Prop F.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
Yes. If our interpreter allows me, I would like to speak on 23, 24, 25, general public comment, continue
So you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items.
Por favor, sea una mujer honesta. Interpretame correctamente. Te amo, señora intérprete. So start with item number 23. It's about the Women's March and the women's life. I'm here to support item 23. It's because I experienced the discrimination as a man and as a woman. When I was a man, people attacking me and laughing at me as my 3-inch shrimp. And then when I was a woman, people continue to take pictures of me like a blooming field in the hallway.
Speaker, which agenda item is this?
I am here to continue number 23, women health, women freedom. 23 is women freedom. So I am here is because I have experienced the struggle of the woman. And then I'm continuing to hear
I'm sorry, that's not what the agenda item is. So move on to something that's actually on our agenda.
To march with all Los Angeles women. And then For the item number 24. 你从国外回来，咱们没怎么聊过，一直都在忙着，其实有好多话想说，还没来得及，一转眼就要回去了。你这一走又是几年，还真有点舍不得。都是大老爷们儿，说到有点女人了，又要离开你，还惦记咱们这哥几个。有些话太啰嗦，他有点说不出口，所以把它写成一首祝福的歌。在那边注意身体，有事没事常联系，别老玩神秘。小学回来我跟你急，别老觉得想吃什么就吃什么。要是回来再瘦了，哥儿姐妹拽死你。爹爹的是周着呢，收着你那臭脾气，那边不像咱们这边出事没人真帮你。要是烦了累了，给哥们儿追一电话，这电话没有关机，没有别在服务区，兄弟。 你的兄弟就在这里，不管什么时候回来，哥儿几个等你，兄弟。你的家就在这里，不管你人到了哪儿，哥儿几个挺你，兄弟。你的心就在这里，不管别人怎么说，哥儿几个懂你，兄弟。你得赶紧回到这里啊，不管什么怎么样，哥们儿几个陪着你，兄弟。你得赶紧回到这里，不管怎么什么样，哥儿几个陪着你。So next, let's move on to item number 2025. 我站在烈烈风中，恨不能荡尽绵绵心痛，望苍天四方云动，剑在手，问天下谁是英雄？ 人世间有百媚千红，我独爱你那一种。伤心处，别时路有谁不同？多少年恩爱匆匆葬送。
General public
我
comment.
心中你最重。 悲欢共，生死同。你用柔情刻骨，换我豪情天纵。我心中你最重，我的泪向天冲。来世也当称兄，归去斜阳正浓。我站在烈烈风中。 恨不能荡尽绵绵心痛，望苍天四方云动，剑在手，问天下谁是英雄？我心中你最重。 悲欢共，生死同。你用柔情刻骨，换我豪情天纵。我心中
Speaker, your time is
Next
expired.
speaker.
Good morning. So you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment.
Thank you, you DEI ambulance chaser. So number 20, only what? 15,000 goddamn fucking dollars? You can't even dismantle 2 RVs for that. Ask Unisys. She's been trying to do it for years now. So I say, fuck item 20. After all, why should you live in your RV? We'll ask Tracy Park. Why should you not live in your RV? Because everybody enjoys paying property taxes. Everybody enjoys paying a 49% increase in their sewer fees. Everybody enjoys getting older and having your fucking income not be able to afford your own fucking home. Why would anybody live in a fucking trailer for free on beachfront property? Tracy Park lets you do it. She lets you rent free. She's no good. And then we get the Paul Krikorian pool motion, yes. How inviting. Imagine the Krikorian family of goats taking themselves over to the swimming pool just where a bunch of homeless went in there and urinated and crapped inside that swimming pool. Yes, all of that chlorine burning your eyes. You know why, Paul, the chlorine burns your eyes? That's because it's interacting with chemicals in the water. So when you have a clean pool and you put chlorine in, you don't get red eye. You only get red eye when there's urine, drug needles, blood, and filthy trash, and barf inside the water as you're swimming it and getting it into your ears and your mouth. Yum, 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 yum. I want to get me some tasty homeless crap in my throat. Yummy, 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 yummy. And then we have the rail replacement, Monique Rodriguez. Doing a good thing for her constituents. And no ugly flower. Keep up the good work. And then we have no good Tracy Park with her no good fire station motion. The Friends of the Historic Fire Station? There are no Friends of the Historic Fire Station. It's just a bunch of nonprofit money laundering. Real friends don't ask the city for money. Real friends bring themselves buckets and liquor boxes filled with cash, like Jose Weeds are used to. That way you could bypass the council and get faster funding. And this episode and suggestion was brought to you by the United States Attorney's Office. If you suspect crime, contact Mr. Estrada. And now for the general. I have a picture of Pat Tim Buckethead Dumbshit McOscar outside on Spring Street at the same time his name was here on the podium on the quorum. And the reason that Pumpkinhead, our city attorney, willfully conspired to keep his name on the board, you know why? Let's ask Kevin why.
Oh, well, that's because if they did it, well, we would have broken quorum and we would have had to adjourn the meeting and not vote on any of our corruption.
Thank you, Mr. De Leon. That's correct. It's absolutely correct. Let's give him a hand. Very good. And you see, how many times has that happened now? And how many times has Mr. Weezer witnessed the same crime? Remember there, Pumpkinhead, conspiracy to commit a misdemeanor is a felony. And now you've done it multiple times. So get your cell ready. Even your big fat fucking head will fit in one in Lompoc. We have one ready for you. Get your stay ready.
Your time has expired. That will close comment here in the council chambers. We'll go next to the phones. First caller, please.
Caller with the last four digits, 9519. Please press *6 to
Yes,
mute
my name
yourself.
is Jason. I'm a smoker can viewer.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
What items are available there, Pumpkinhead?
So this is for everybody who's on the phones. The items that are open for public comment are items number 1 and items 13 through 30.
Let me get all available items and general public comment, if you would, please, brother.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Go ahead.
Good deal. Thank you there, brother. And shout out to the Spokane community again there, as usual. So the other day I was down on Figueroa with this chick.
Yeah,
and,
so
I
what you were
paid her-
doing on Figueroa Street is not on
Yes,
our
sir.
agenda. So this is your only warning. Speak to the agenda.
Well, if you shut the hell up and let me talk long enough, that petty pink face, I'll get to the
All
agenda.
right, let's go to general public comment. 1 minute.
Well, damn, we in a damn hurry. You got somewhere you got to be today there, brother? Anyway, I was just saying, shout out to the Spokane community. The other day I was down on Figueroa with this chick, and, I paid her $5 to let me, I do some things there. And, it was a good deal. Because, usually the chick down there, they have shit going on with them there.
So,
But,
caller, you need to speak to something that's within the subject matter jurisdiction of this body or the city. So this is your only warning. Please stick to something that is within the subject matter jurisdiction of the city.
And this chick running off my $5 worth of hand job is not
Okay,
within your
that's
jurisdiction?
enough. That's enough. Next caller.
To all items and general comment.
Okay, good morning. You have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items.
All right. So we have a number of REAP items. That's where it doesn't actually punish the landlord. It's just, you tell the landlord to fix some stuff and the landlord gets all the money. Why don't you, if the landlord isn't doing the landlord's job, fixing the stuff, why don't you use eminent domain and take the property from the landlord? Let's see, we have 19, that's ballot simplification. That's the ballot measure names for the November 5th ballot. Unfortunately, there's no ballot measure related to police disciplinary reform. since the council president decided he'd rather take a vacation, extended vacation in France instead of coming here to vote on that. So that one isn't on this list. So, yeah. We have item 20, that is from Murray's Proxy and City Staffer B for vehicle recycling. And this is, it's just funneling more money to the police. That's apparently all you two do, is just more money to the cops. So we don't want that. No on that. Let's see, we have 21, renaming streets. Just renaming it from Diane Watson Way to Diane Watson Porter. How much is it going to cost to rename all those signs that have probably already been put up? So, yeah. Let's see. We have 24 from Krikorian. This is kind of like yesterday. You're going to keep the swimming pools open until September 29th. Yeah. The 29th. Even though it's going to be hot until like November. But of course, you don't want to pay to actually keep the swimming pools open longer than just the end of the month because you're too busy funneling it all to the LAPD. Let's see, we have, let's see, anything else I want to speak on? We have something related to Watts, like you actually care about the people who live in Watts. Renaming a street on 30. Let's go to general comment. You know, it's absolutely ridiculous that that you keep just letting Kevin just do whatever he wants on the council. You know, Kevin needs to resign. He should have resigned a long time ago. But the only reason he hasn't resigned is because you keep enabling him. You keep allowing him onto the council. And, you know, that's, of course he's not resigned because you're enabling him. Stop enabling him. You said you wanted him to resign. Start acting like it. It's coming back today. I don't know if he's still there today. Is it your honored
General
guest?
public comment?
Yeah, I'm on it. It's coming back today. It's your honored guest is former council member Joey 1% Buckets, Joe Buscaino, who got 0.69% of the votes in the primary for mayor. You know, Gina got more than 40,000, got almost 40,000 more votes than Joey Buckets did in the mayoral election. And Gina only joined a couple months before the election. Joey Buckets was supposedly one of the major candidates. He was in it for like 2 years, and then he got, you know, couldn't even get a 1% of the vote. No, 0.69% of the votes. But yeah, this is who the council was. The racist cop who couldn't even get 1% of the vote in the mayoral election despite running for like 2 years. Joey 1% Buckets. Yeah. Kevin De Leon needs to resign. Paul, why don't you just step
Next
down
speaker,
now?
please.
Thank you, sir. And this has to do about cleaning up the city of LA. How is it that a person like Jason from Smoke and Scum wakes up every morning and tries to insult this great city? Then he wakes up and he assaults women that he talks, and he wakes up just to bring shame to this city. And what's really bad is the supporters, like the one young lady, Aisha Meyer, who gives a big shout out to him, and yet she's taking care of our children, walking them across dangerous streets, and then comes into city council and uses the F word more than Marines. Well, I'll tell you, go to Camp Pendleton, she can beat those guys. But it's shameful because she's such a productive person, and also her partner. They're great when they stick to subject matter. But how do you support? And I want to thank the council for putting Jason, who, by the way, yesterday they threatened me 4 times. And
Caller, your time has expired.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's Eric Previn. I'd like to speak on the available items and the general public.
Good morning. Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items.
Sure, I just want to stipulate there'll be no interruptions, and that's the last warning. Okay, on item 21, you know, you have to ask yourself, first of all, Hut was very participatory in Eunice's Hernandez's committee meeting this morning, so she gets credit for that. But naming policy in place, changing the name from Diane Watson Way to Diane Watson Corridor is a lovely community benefit, I suppose. Let's make sure she gets handsomely remunerated for expanding the scope of that naming. Diane Watson deserves it, and Hut has been steadfastly and fastidiously cleaning up as she heads toward a swamping of her competition. On to item 23, you got an $18,950 in-kind donation that Yaroslavsky's whipped together from the Women's March Foundation. Well, here we go. Okay, I know they're going to build a stage and try to have an event. I don't really think that we should be taking money from a not-for-profit that you're canoodling with constantly. I mean, why can't, I don't know. I think that this is an example of, we fund not-for-profits. Get it? If they start funding us, it's just creepy. I'm just telling you. I'm not saying we shouldn't have community partners do things without remuneration, but item 24 is Kerkorian, who has done more to create dry patches of earth in what was CD2, now CD4, by greenlighting a historic number of high school regulation basketball courts for any 500 square meters. It's unbelievable what a lunatic by the bros at Harvard Westlake who put into place a Prop K project years ago, and everyone said, well, we don't need the high school regulation basketball court. That's absurd. That was
Mr. Previn, item number 24 is about swimming pools. So please stick to the items.
Yeah, but there are no swimming pools. All right, let me get to it. So thanks for the swimming pools. My point is, this is all under the Recreation and Park umbrella, and there are extensions until September based on the item that Kerkorian has put down. But what he's done is dug holes in our ground to put up city buildings and then walked away and left it to be named after Nithya Raman, who I'm very sad was not active today during the hotel presentation, because what another
sorry, this is not on our agenda and it's
General.
unintelligible,
We'll go to the
so
general.
go ahead and move on to an agenda
Well,
item or general public comment.
Yes, sure, we'll do that. If it were not intelligible, you wouldn't be trying to interrupt me, sir, because you know it's completely intelligible. I'm talking about the
General
Prop K
public
project
comment,
that
1
your
minute,
predecessor-
please. 1 minute for general public comment.
Right, stop putting your finger on the button. I'm talking. Thank you. As I said, the Prop K project in Studio City, which was put into place probably when Adrien Nazarian was your sidekick, is an odious project that was porked together by you, Brad Sherman, and others, and left on Nithya Raman's nose, and it's a disgusting project. Labor Day weekend, the picnic tables were scraped out, and Harvard Westlake has scraped out the golf course and all the critters along the river. So failure on multiple fronts. That said, downstairs in Eunice's committee, TOT will be up, 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 but the Department of Cultural Affairs is down, 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 down by staff. So all I can tell you is masterfully done. And Carol Tarosian can get the tag on the swimming pool. I'd love to take a dip in that pool when it arrives through the Suez Canal, he said to John Amato of Harvard Westlake, and he did. And guess what? Everybody in the pool